Welcome back, everyone, to your stimulus update for today. I do hope your week is going well so far. How have you been? In this update, we have a couple things to cover. Some breaking news. Number one, we have to discuss some news surrounding the potential fourth stimulus check and what we know so far. What do we know as far as what's going on in the White House and the Biden administration? Also, what do we know about Biden and student loan forgiveness, student loan cancellation? We'll be discussing both in today's video. So let's get started, dive right into the news. But before we do, as always, you know the drill, you know the protocol. If you have been enjoying my content, you have been enjoying my videos, go ahead and show your appreciation by smashing that like button. Give this video a big thumbs up, drop a like on this video. And if you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed, click that big red button as well as the notification bell as well. That notification bell will actually notify you when we do post a brand new video on this channel. We post videos every single solitary week with no exceptions and no excuses. And we'll be doing next cash giveaway when we do it 20,000 subscribers, and you'll have to be entered and subscribe to be entered in that giveaway, so you might as well get it out of the way now. So let's begin with student loans. The fact is that Biden had promised on the campaign trail to cancel student loans for borrowers, and also there is tremendous pressure from inside of the Democratic Party, specifically progressive Democrats, but unfortunately, Biden has now omitted student loan cancellation from the annual White House budget proposal. The Washington Post had previously reported that White House officials have left out key Biden campaign promises from their upcoming budget proposal, including forgiving significant amounts of student loans. This is as the administration is currently focusing on what has already been introduced. President Biden has now proposed nearly $4 trillion in new spending to overhaul the nation's infrastructure and dramatically expand the government fund social safety net, all paid for by a slew of new taxes on wealthy Americans and corporations. Rob Freelander, spokesman for the White House Budget Office, had said, quote, "The president's budget will focus on advancing the historic legislative agenda he's already put forward for this year. The budget won't propose other new initiatives, but will put together the full picture of how these proposals would advance economic growth and shared prosperity while also putting our country on a sound fiscal course." Democrats have repeatedly urged President Biden to wipe out student debt using executive action, and now we can already see the evidence that this decision is upsetting the left-wing progressives of the Democratic Party. Representative AOC Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez had said, quote, "We need to push him. I believe in full student loan debt cancellation, but we have to push him to, at the bare minimum, a floor of $50,000 that Senator Warren and Senator Schumer have also advanced." We had previously discussed on this channel Senator Elizabeth Warren and Senator Chuck Schumer's plans for student loan cancellation, and now you can see how the Democratic Party and President Biden are at odds, and we have a major difference of opinion. So this news was extremely disappointing for nearly 43 million federal borrowers, especially given the fact that the Biden administration had indicated that some form of student loan policy could be forthcoming. As we had covered on this channel, in early April, Biden had asked the U.S. Department of Education to review whether his executive authority gives him the ability to enact massive student loan forgiveness without congressional approval. This move gave millions of Americans a glimmer of hope, but we still have to wait to see the results of this report, and so far there has been no policy introduced. So now tens of millions of borrowers have been left in the dark by President Biden and are now wondering when and even if their loans would ever be forgiven. Up to this point, President Biden has only called for forgiving $10,000 worth of student loans as part of a broader coronavirus relief effort, and he also extended a freeze on student loan payments through September 30th of this year, immediately upon entering office, and this benefited about 41 million Americans. As the infamous President Ronald Reagan quote goes, he had said that the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are "I'm from the government and I'm here to help." But this is just a total dereliction of duty on the White House's part of totally abandoning all these borrowers and leaving them in the absolute dark with no recourse. So especially with the recent news, I wouldn't expect any executive action on student loans from President Biden, at least for the remainder of this year. So at this point, it would be up to the Congress to introduce and pass some sort of legislation. So we'll see if any proposals do come out of the Congress. Moving on to stimulus checks now. So as far as the most recent round of stimulus, the third round of stimulus checks, a new batch of checks have been sent out, so if you didn't receive them in the last several weeks, you might have received them now. This now brings the total number of payments to 167 million payments, totaling a grand sum of $391 billion. The newest tranche includes more than 1.8 million payments worth more than $3.5 billion. More than 900,000 of these checks were sent via direct deposit, and the rest were paper checks. Also included are those plus-up payments to people that are entitled to more stimulus money, and also people that do not normally file their taxes but recently did, and now the IRS has their information on file, and the IRS was able to access them and send them stimulus checks. So now the newest looming question is, could we expect new stimulus checks, a fourth round of stimulus, in President Biden's $6 trillion spending plan? This $6 trillion budget proposal for the year of 2022 seeks to put the U.S. economy on better financial footing over time. And is there room for more stimulus? Well, the budget proposal that has been put forth by the White House includes spending for policies and initiatives that President Biden has put forth over the last 4 months while in office. This includes investment in infrastructure to improve transportation, fight climate change, and also rebuild the American middle class. It's no secret that President Biden has been on a spending spree. In fact, the New York Times was first to report that it would see the highest sustained levels of federal spending since World War II and see total spending to rise to $8.2 trillion by 2031. So what is inside this $6 trillion spending proposal? Well, President Biden had previously laid out his vision on the investments he wants to make between the American Jobs Plan and the American Families Plan. His $6 trillion proposal would also include discretionary spending, which would see a 16% increase in spending on non-defense programs for 2022. The White House views this spending as necessary to reverse a decade of underinvestment and to make government policy work for the people. According to the Washington Post, some of the biggest beneficiaries of this proposal would be the Department of Health and Human Services and the Education Department, seeing their funding increase by 23% and 41% respectively. These agencies will be key to help implement programs for American families in the last two portions of the Build Back Better plan. It would also be a reversal of the previous administration's attempts to cut funding to these agencies. But could we expect more stimulus? Well, there has been clamoring among Democrats on Capitol Hill for another round of stimulus, and there's been a great deal of pressure and repeated calls for the White House to support the idea. Legislation was reintroduced in the House that would create reoccurring stimulus checks until the end of the pandemic, but at this juncture, at this point, the odds of that happening are extremely slim. And mainly, another round of stimulus may not be in the cards as the pandemic seems to be under control and the economy is rebounding from the depths that it had reached last spring. The U.S. economy is expected to grow at its fastest clip since 1984 under President Reagan. And additionally, such a measure as a fourth round of stimulus could hamper President Biden's long-term goals through the Build Back Better plan. Currently, he has said that he'd be willing to go past the Memorial Day deadline to reach a compromise with the GOP on the size of the infrastructure bill. After some back and forth negotiations and counter offers, President Biden has been willing to compromise on the price of his infrastructure bill, but there is still a large chasm between the two parties. So any further stimulus check proposals at this point would add an unacceptable level of spending for Republicans and even some Democrats as well. However, we could still expect other forms of stimulus, such as a permanent extension of the child tax credit, student loan forgiveness could still be on the table, as well as other areas of stimulus. We also recently updated you guys right here on this channel on the mortgage assistance program that is now available to you, so other forms of relief could be on the way. If you didn't see that video yet regarding the mortgage assistance, that video will be down below in the description. You can check it out. More updates and developments are to follow suit. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, as always, show your support by smashing that like button. Also, make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. Click that big red button and the notification bell as well. That will notify you each time we do upload a brand new video on this channel. And if you'd like to get some free stocks, all on me, all free, use my links down below in the description. When you do go ahead and utilize those links, you can actually get some free stocks, some valued up to thousands of dollars when you do go ahead and sign up with either Robinhood and or Webull. And if you want to connect with me on social media, go ahead and follow me. I'm on Instagram at Logan Cohn, at LOGANKOHN, right there on your screen. I look forward to connecting with you there. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.